Sooner or later, just about everything goes digital. The book, the TV, the phone. But one of the world's most commonplace gadgets has been stuck in time for 40 years. The humble thermostat. There's probably one on your wall right now, beige and boring and probably wasting money.
Today, only 10% of thermostats, 250 million thermostats in the US, are actually programmed to save any energy. That's because they've been too confusing, too cumbersome to program. Joy, how are we doing on the...
Silicon Valley inventor Tony Fadell is trying to change all that, but you're probably more familiar with his earlier pet project, the iPod.
After doing 18 generations of the iPod, I was like, okay, maybe there's something else to go after and look at. So I took some time off.
He was designing a dream home in Lake Tahoe, ultra-modern, ultra-green.
And then someone in the design team said, here are the thermostats you're going to use in this house. And I was like, I looked at them, and they all looked like 90s beige computers. So I just said, I'm going to start designing one myself.
He came up with this, the Nest thermostat.
I can just turn it on with just waving my hand. I don't even have to touch it. This is actually a simpler interface than the iPod. All we have is a ring, a dial, and one button.
Oh, you push in on the whole thing?
Anywhere on the face. Let's say we wanted to actually turn on the heat. Here we go, we just turn it up. The screen turns red-orange to say it's starting to heat.
In the summertime, when you turn it to cool, you should have it turn blue.
And guess what? We can make that happen. So let's do that right now. See, there it is, cool.
But here's where things get interesting. You can also adjust the thermostat when you're not home, using an app on your phone. For example, you might want your house to be comfortable by the time you get home from a trip.
I'm going to go up to 68.
68, and then it should reflect back here right away.
Change to 68.
68.
But maybe the most interesting part of all is that this thermostat can program itself.
You're now actually in the Nest lab.
We're in the Nest labs, absolutely. You can see
the thermostat can actually see when people are home.
So we're testing the far field activity sensor. This is actually simulating a person walking by it.
It's trying to see if anybody's home.
It's trying to see if anyone's
looking
home.
out into the room.
It scans out into the room.
Over time, those motion and heat sensors let the Nest figure out when you're out of the house, and it learns your schedule all by itself. Now, all of this tech goodness will cost you $250, but Fadell says you'll still come out ahead.
If you think about a thermostat in its life, you're spending between $12,000 and $15,000 worth of fuel consumed by that thermostat and that heating and cooling system. So what if you could actually just save 5 or 10% of that over the life of that thermostat? You can quickly pay back for the thermostat and reward yourself every year for making a good decision.
Tony Fadell isn't the only one bringing the thermostat into the digital age.
Go ahead.
Around the country, electric companies like Con Edison in New York City are putting the same idea to work on a massive scale.
So is this the inner sanctum? Is this the beating heart of Con Ed right here?
Yeah, so this is one of our local distribution centers.
Summertime brings the highest spikes in energy use. In this room, Con Ed managers watch out for imminent blackouts, like the terrible one of 2003.
In the dark, there was screaming. In Times Square, at the crossroads of the world, traffic lights were out.
To avoid another meltdown like that one, Con Ed is introducing a new weapon against redlining demand. Adrian Ortizo manages the program.
It's a two-way communicating thermostat. You can control it via a web portal as well as a smartphone.
Like the Nest, Con Ed's thermostats let you control your thermostat or even a room air conditioner or fan by remote control.
Wait, did you just do that?
I just did.
You just turned that fan on?
I turned the fan on.
The advantage is that I have full control.
Unlike the Nest, Con Ed is giving these thermostats away free. But as you might guess, there's a catch. You're not the only one who gets remote control of your thermostat.
There are times of peak energy use on our system. Con Edison will call upon these participants to actually, be part of a demand reduction event.
You mean you're going to turn down their air conditioners by remote control?
We only raise the temperature to, 2 to 3 degrees.
I knew there was more to it.
Well, now that you know how it works, does that change your inclination to do it?
No, I'm willing to do that.
Apparently, New Yorkers don't mind that Big Brother is cooling them.
As long as I don't sweat, I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, you can't override it. You can say, no, 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 Con
Well, I was
Ed.
going to ask you.
Yeah, you can't override it.
So no matter what, I have control of it.
So why would an electric company try to get its customers to use less of its product?
We don't have to build more infrastructure, or we can at least delay it for a couple more years. So that's less lines in the ground or overhead, maybe not building a new substation.
And is it possible that cumulatively these efforts could prevent a brownout or a blackout?
Yes, it definitely adds to the reliability of the system.
If you find the notion of smart thermostats just a little bit creepy, well, don't look now. Just to be clear, your house sends you a text message.
My house sends me a text message.
If Verizon has its way, thermostats will be only one part of your house that's online.
I'm going to set the house to 68 degrees because you know what? There's nothing worse than running around keeping the house when it's not.
Oh, in 4 seconds. So it went from your phone to the internet to your house and changed the temperature.
That's right. This smart house, it's about how
Ann Schaub isn't just an executive for Verizon's connected home services. She's also a guinea pig.
I've got a camera, make sure the TV's not on when it's not supposed to.
Her home is a showcase for the company's new home automation services, including remote-controlled lights, where you're on,
Light on.
cool, and door locks.
I can hit lock now, and in 5 seconds the door's going to actually lock.
And, of course, cameras.
So I happen to have 14 cameras in my house because I have no sense of moderation in my life at all.
Watching you.
That's right.
Now, the goals of all this are lofty. Save energy, save money, save effort. But with great technology comes great glitchiness.
It's a little slow today. Lots going on. I love technology, don't you?
Yeah, we have 6 of them here, and then
Even Mr. iPod himself, Tony Fadell, says there's more work to be done.
Are you telling me we've come to an age when my thermostat needs software updates?
these are definitely complicated products, and there may be bugs from time to time.
Fortunately, all of these remote-controlled, interconnected, artificially intelligent thermostats have one really great feature. When all else fails, you can still use them the old-fashioned way by turning them with your hand.